Hey guys, welcome to another video for our Hack the Day series, and this video is really excited because in this video we are going to learn about the ransomware attack. Yes, you heard right, the ransomware attack. In this video we are not just going to learn about the ransomware attack, we will see how these attacks are really done on someone, and of course we will see how you can create a basic version of this ransomware attack just for practice, and of course just for the sake of learning. And this video is of course for educational purposes, and I know that you would be doing all these things ethically. So without any further delay, let's get started. Before continuing forward, I would remind you that if you have not subscribed this channel, then hit the subscribe button, like button, and of course share with your friends, because this will really encourage us to continue our journey of teaching all these things ethically, of course, on the YouTube. And we also have our Facebook page by the name of Programium. You can also join that page. So first thing first, let us discuss the timestamps of this video. We will see what is this ransomware attack. This is very scary attack, and you would see in a moment that why it is scary and how dangerous it is. How can we attack using Python, and how can we prevent this attack? And that looks really excited. So what's next? So first thing, what is this ransomware attack? This attack could only be initiated when you download something from the internet, either an installer, either something that can be executed. That could be an Python script, JavaScript, or Ruby, C#, all stuff like that. A lot of pirated softwares, cracked softwares, and the hacked softwares, of course, can contain the scripts that can initiate this ransomware attack. And of course, if you downloaded and installed that application, then that means boom, because when you do that, a specific code would be executed that will encrypt a lot of files. That includes your important files, maybe, because the pictures, the PDF files, the documents files, the presentations, and the Excel files, a lot of files they can. And in bad cases, they encrypt the whole drive. That means each and everything would be encrypted. You would not be able to run your operating system, and of course if you won't run that, you cannot access your files that are necessary for you. So let us see, like, what is this ransomware attack? So of course you would be familiar with the word ransom. That means you have to pay someone whatever that person is demanding in order to return back you something. Of course the same would happen with these attacks, and these are not the new attacks. These are originated in the 1980s, and you can see that these attacks are not new. And what makes them scary, I am going to tell you right now. It happened that when you downloaded or installed some application, a specific code executed, as we have seen before. Then after that code executions, your files are encrypted, and in worst cases that would be deleted from your system. And to get back your files, that person who tries to attack on your system would say you, hey, you have to pay me this amount of dollars or bitcoins. And also there would be a method to deliver that payment to that person, and they also give a specific email address on which you can make contact with that person. So I know two cases, and in that I see in that in one case they were demanding about $1,400 for this ransom, and in another one I got $2,000. so that's a lot amount here. But there is also a problem that if we don't give them these payment, we are not going to get our files back if they are encrypted perfectly. But there is also a problem that we also don't know, we also don't have the guarantee that that person is going to give back me the files after the payment or not. So whatever the case is, you don't have to make contact with that person. And of course we will try to learn or do something on our own that can give us our files back. So this is the ransomware attack, and I hope so you would get a better understanding that why I have said that these attacks are really scary. So let's jump forward. But the question is, how would you know that you have been attacked by this ransomware? Of course, when your files are encrypted, you would see that the extension of the file was .pdf or .png or .jpg, anything that would be changed to some other format that you should not have seen in your life. Like, I have used here some names here, the extensions that would be shown after the encryption of your files. And of course, if you open those files, you would not have an idea what those files contains, because though you will see a lot of unrecognized symbols that you cannot decrypt, or in simple words we can say that you cannot understand what are them. So I used the word here, alien words. Of course, those are not alien words, those are just the words that you cannot understand easily, and we will see that what would those look like. We will also see a file, majorly text file, and that would be sometimes in most cases placed on the desktop, but also in the every directory where you find those encrypted files. And when you open that, you will see some email accounts to make contact on, and there would be a payment method, and of course the payment you have to transfer to them. Oh, that's very scary. Isn't that scary? If you find it scary, then comment it out. I would like to know about what do you think about these attacks. Okay, let's make this attack using Python. And of course, you would require some things for this attack to be done. And of course, you need a computer with an operating system, any operating system, Windows or Mac OS, anything. This script would work on all of them. And the Python installed, of course. And of course, subscribe this channel. This is the most important requirement here. Okay, comment about this video and like for videos, and these are the and of course these are the most important things for you to do. So now it's time to make that script that can do this kind of attack. I had opened a directory here in which I would be trying to perform this attack. Of course, I would be attacking on my system. I would not be going to attack on someone other system. And you are seeing here that there are some PDF and the JPG files, PNG files here, and we can also open those files here easily. But let's see if this is opening fine or not. And yeah, it's good, it is working. These files are really good here. So let's open the Visual Studio Code here. So let's create a new Python file here, ransomware.py. So first I would make the whole script and run it, and after that we will see how this script is working. So I'm going to import the OS library here, and if you have not installed this, by the way, it is installed by default when you install the Python, but for some reasons if that's not available, then you just have to write pip install and this OS in the cmd, and that will install. But let me show you the way. I had opened the terminal here, and we will try to install this OS. So we will use here pip install os win for Windows, and you can see that it is collecting and downloading. So I'm just stopping it. I am going to stop it because it is installed already. So after this, I'm going to create a variable all files data is equals to os dot. We can use here two things. One thing is this wall, and the other thing is os dot list did. Okay, so both require two things. One is, let me use here multi cursors, C and this, and then the folder name we are going to tag, and this list there would give us that how much files and directories are there inside this path here. And of course it would also give us the names of the files and the names of the directories. But this one os.walk would give us not only the directories name and the files name, but also the subdirectories within these directories. So we will be using this one, and let's delete this one. Okay, after this one, it will generate. If we can go to its documentation, we will see that it would give us tree generator with 3 tuples, and one is the dir path, dir names and file names. So let me use here for loop, and I'm going to tell you what it will return. It will return the address, root address, and the directories and the files. Sorry, we also have to use in all files data, of course. It would give us 3 things that we are interested in, and one is this the root address, and you would get an idea what is root address here. The root address here means that the path of the specific folder or a file. So this one was the root here, and the directories, all the directories within this path here, and all the files with their names, and of course these files name would also contain the files that are within the subdirectories of these directories. So what I'm going to do, I will use here for file in files. Let's use this one. And what we are going to do, actually I'm going to just rename the files. So let me show you what would happen if I delete if I rename these files here. You can see that it is opening without any problem. And let's try to change its extension. I'm using here QMac, and of course, yes, let's try to open it. You would see that before this one it was opening in the photos editor, but now it is oh my god, what is this? Oh, I can't understand them. What is happening here? What had happened to this file? So you can see that this was the same file, and let me open that again, and you would see that, oh, and the same thing here. So that means I would be going to just rename these files, and yes, of course, and when we rename this one again, we are seeing our picture without any problem. So I would be renaming all the files. So this is not very difficult in Python. Of course, we are getting the file's name and the root address is available here. It would not be very difficult for us to do all these things. So let's do one thing here. I am going to use here os.rename, and these functions would take 2 arguments. One is a source path of a file and the destination path. So let me create here 2 variables. One is the source path and the other is the destination path. For the source path, we will be using root, as we have seen that we will be getting this address and of course the file here. Perfect. And for the destination, I would be using again root plus this thing plus the file name plus, and let's use something difficult like QMac. And now we have gone the source path and the destination path. I would be using source path and destination path. Perfect. Okay, so let's try to run on just one folder. So I'm going into this folder one, and let's copy its path from here, and let's paste it here. So we will have to use double slashes here, and let's try to run this file. So I would be using terminal python ransomware.py, and it should be no error. And let's go to see if this program worked or not. And you can see that all these files have been changed its behavior. You can see that it was first a PDF file. When I try to open it, let's see what would happen. And you can see that at the bottom it is taking about a lot of time, 17%, 20% complete loading the file, and I don't know what it would load. I'm just going to close it because I don't want my system to get freezed. And you can see that this is working fine. So I'm just going to delete these things. And now you can see that I had put it some pictures here. So let's go back to our code here, and let's remove this thing because we are now sure that this script would be working fine. So after this one, what we will be doing, we have to show the user that, hey, your files have been encrypted, you have to contact me. If you don't, then you won't be able to recover your files. So for that, what we will be doing, we will be creating some files in every directory. So for that I would be using another for loop, and I'm using here directory in directories, and here we will use here let's create a file handler. File handler is equals to open. Okay, I'm going to open a file, and that file would be, of course, the open function would take two arguments. One is the file name along with its address, and the other is the mode in which we are going to open that file. So we need to edit the files. I would be using W here for the write mode. Okay, the mode is write. W stands for write. So we also have to give this file name, and where do we got that file name? We have to use here, let me create a variable by the name of file name, and I would use here root plus this one plus directory, and of course we have to give it a name, and let's give it a name payme.html. You can create text files without any problem. I'm just creating an HTML file here. Then we have to write this file handler.write, and we have to provide it a lot of things here that we want to get written into that file. And after this writing process, we will just close that handler, so that if anything bad happened during running of this program, we are not going to destroy or you can say change the structure of our file. Okay, to get the content that we want to put inside this function, write function, what I'm going to do, I would be creating a file here. Let's copy this one, and we have to paste it here. So if I put it like that, you would see that it becomes a red line here, and is saying string deleter is unterminated. So to resolve this issue, we will use 3 pair of this double quotation mark, sorry, and you can see that if I add something, nothing bad is happening. So let me paste it here, and let's save it, and let's try to run it again. 1 2 3 and go. Okay, oh my god, all our files have been encrypted. Oh shit, each and everything is encrypted, but the problem is we are not seeing here any HTML file. Okay, that means there is something bad happened here. So let's see what is the problem. I'm going to comment them right now, this for loop, all for loop, and let's print here what is the file name. Print file name, save it, run it again. Okay, but why it is not working? It's working here. You can see that it's been visible here. So I think there should be some problem here. So let's try to open it. Okay, oh my god, you can see that you got a ransomware attack. Now be focused on what I'm saying. Okay, subscribe this channel, and of course you are seeing here in this video I have muted my video, and you can see that my video have been shown here. Okay, let me tell you what you have to do. You just have to go here and just press the subscribe button. Okay, I know that you already know that how to do the subscription. So now you can see that it looks like a real one. So let me close this one, and we know that our files have been encrypted and we are getting this HTML file. So what's the process here to recover all the files? So if this solution would be working if all your files have been renamed. A lot of people don't know that what is this attack, and is it a real one or a fake one. So if it is a real one, that means the all files have been encrypted. If you rename your files, then nothing is going to happen, the files would remain encrypted. But if that one is not a real one, then you can say that all the files would just be renamed. and we can recover our files by just renaming or removing the extension that we are seeing here. I'm seeing here qmake extension, but you would be seeing whatever extension. You just have to remove that, and if that works for you, then this solution can be a very efficient one for you. And but another thing here, that if you got a real encrypted files or a real ransomware attack, then the first thing you would need to do, you just have to recover your files. And if you don't know how to recover the files, then I already had uploaded a detailed video on how you can recover your files, either deleted, either encrypted. The link would be in the description below. So let me close the terminal here, and let's create another file here, and let me save it as solution.py. okay, and what we have to do, let me just copy all these things, paste it here. We are not going to write anything. Let's remove this one. Okay, let's remove this one also. Let's uncomment it. Okay, good. So what we have to do, of course, if we are going to rename our files, then let me show you one thing. One thing is that we will use here source path dot rename replace, sorry, and this function will take two things. One is the older string that you find here, and the other one is from which thing you want to replace it. So we want to replace this qmake with nothing. So let's try to run it, and then we will see how all these things are working. Let's use here python solution.py. okay, we can see that we got a little bit error here, but let's try to see what is happening in the file explorer. Okay, you can see that some files have been renamed, but some are no, because our program execution stopped. And let's see what is the problem. The file already exists. Okay, yeah, fine. The problem is that if that file exists multiple times, then we will get an error here. And let's use this one, and let's delete this one that we have recovered until now, and let's also delete this one. Okay, let's delete it, and let's try to run our program one more time, and we got no error here. And now we can see that all our files have been decrypted. Oh, sorry, renamed. It's not decryption. So this was the solution here. I showed you some ways here, and the other method, if you really get attacked by the real ransomware attack, then you have to recover your files. That would be your only best chance that you can do. Okay, another thing here, that stay tuned for our new videos, because we have planned a lot of things, and we are just managing our time here to deliver those contents to you. So I would request all of you to subscribe this channel again, and like and subscribe this video, because this will really encourage us. And also like our Facebook page, and you can search on Facebook by the name of @programium, and you would get that our page. So goodbye.